The icy wind stabbed across the parking lot as if the night itself wanted to tear the world apart. Cars hissed by, horns wailed somewhere in the distance, and the city lights flickered cold and uncaring. Liam tightened his grip around the small hand inside his own. The hand of his 8-year-old daughter, Rosie, whose shoes were soaked from stepping in a puddle when the bus dropped them off, 4 blocks too early. She tried to be brave, but her lower lip shook, and her tiny breaths came fast and thin. Inside the looming glass building before them, a man Liam had never met was waiting, someone powerful enough to fire an entire department in a heartbeat, someone rumored to have no patience for excuses, someone whispered about as if he were a storm hiding inside a perfectly tailored suit. The CEO, Evan Cross, a man everyone feared but no one truly knew. Liam wiped rain off Rosie's cheek and whispered, "We'll be okay. I promise." But even he didn't know if that was true. He only knew he was late. And people like Evan Cross didn't tolerate lateness. When he opened the lobby door, the warmth hit them like a slap after the freezing dark outside. The receptionist's eyes widened at the sight of them soaked, shivering, the child pressing close to her father, but she quickly looked away as if fear of the CEO's wrath could spread by eye contact. Liam didn't blame her. He had heard the stories too. "Top floor," she murmured without looking up. "He's waiting." The elevator ride felt like rising into judgment. Rosie clung to his side, trembling from the cold. Liam pulled her closer and rubbed her arms, but she was still shaking. He wished he hadn't come straight after work, smelling like engine oil, wearing the same jacket he'd owned since he was 20, but he'd had no choice. When the CEO summons you, you go. The door slid open with a soft chime. The entire top floor was dark except for one office at the end of the long corridor. Light spilled out in a harsh, sterile strip. A silhouette stood inside, straight, rigid, motionless. Watching the door. Watching them. Liam swallowed. "Rosie, stay close." As they stepped in, Evan Cross turned slowly. He didn't look like a monster. He looked tired, dangerously. Tired with the kind of exhaustion that lived beneath the skin. His hands were trembling. His face was paler than the moon. And his eyes were filled with something that froze Liam in place. Fear. Real fear. "Please," Evan whispered, the words cracking as if they were forced through a throat made of glass. "Just make it fast." Liam blinked in confusion. "Sir?" Evan pointed to the chair behind him. A broken chair. A blood-stained chair. Rosie gasped. Liam grabbed her and stepped back. "What happened?" "It's not my blood." Evan's voice shook. "Someone tried to kill me." Those words detonated the air around them. Rosie whimpered and held tighter to Liam's jacket. "I don't know who," Evan continued. "A man came in pretending to deliver documents. He had a knife. I managed to fight him off. Security didn't come. No one came. I locked the door after he ran. And then..." He stopped. "And then you called me," Liam whispered. "Yes," Evan's throat bobbed. "I need someone I can trust. Someone who doesn't want anything from me. Someone who can help. I didn't know who else to call." He lifted a trembling hand. "Please, just make it fast. Patch me up. Stop the shaking. I don't want to pass out." Liam stared at him. He expected many things, a firing, a demand, even a threat. But he had not expected the city's most feared CEO to look like a trapped, hunted animal. "I'm not a doctor," Liam said. "I know," Evan whispered. "But you saved a co-worker from a warehouse accident last year. I read the report. You used your jacket as a tourniquet. You acted faster than the medics." His voice trembled again. "I need that now." Behind Liam, Rosie shivered. Evan's gaze fell to her, and something changed, softened, cracked, broke. "You brought your daughter." "I couldn't leave her home alone," Liam said quietly. Evan swallowed hard. "I won't hurt her, please, just help me." The room went silent except for the rain hammering against the glass. "Rosie," Liam whispered. "Sit here. Daddy has to help someone." She nodded and hugged herself, eyes wide and scared. Liam turned back to the CEO. "Take off your jacket." Evan tried, failed, the fabric catching on his trembling fingers. Liam stepped forward, gently moved Evan's hands away, and tugged off the jacket himself. Blood had soaked through the white shirt beneath. Evan hissed in pain. Liam's voice dropped low. "Sit still, breathe." Evan did. Liam pulled off his own heavy work jacket, the only warm thing he owned. The one he always used to wrap Rosie in at night when the heater failed. He folded it, pressed it against the wound, and tied it with the sleeves around Evan's ribs, tightening it with steady hands. Evan gasped but didn't fight it. "You're losing more heat than blood," Liam said. "My jacket will keep pressure on the cut and keep you from shaking." Evan stared at him, really stared. "Why are you helping me?" "Because there's a little girl behind me watching," Liam whispered. "And I won't let her see her father turn his back on someone." A single tear escaped Evan's eye, the kind that falls without permission. "Liam," he said hoarsely. "Someone wants me dead." "Why call me?" Liam asked again. "Because you have nothing to gain," Evan whispered. "And someone like you, someone who protects people without thinking, might be the only person left I can trust." The room felt smaller, darker, more dangerous. "Who have you told?" Liam asked. "No one." Evan's eyes darted to the door. "Someone on my staff had to let him in." Liam stiffened, meaning the attacker could come back. Evan nodded. Liam turned quickly, scooping Rosie into his arms. "We're leaving now." But before he reached the door, a shadow moved on. The other side, slow, careful. Not a guard, not a friend. A hunter. Evan's breath hitched. He came back. Liam pushed Rosie behind him and whispered, "Stay down." The handle turned. Slow. Deliberate. Rosie muffled a cry. Evan looked ready to collapse. Liam grabbed the only thing nearby, a heavy glass award from Evan's desk, sharp at the edges. He lifted it like a weapon just as the door creaked open. A man stepped inside. Black gloves, cold eyes, a thin smile. "There you are," the intruder whispered. "I didn't finish earlier." Liam's pulse exploded. He stepped between the man and the child, body shaking but unmovable. "You'll leave," Liam growled. "Or I'll make you." The intruder laughed. "You're just a mechanic. And you're making the mistake of threatening my daughter." The man lunged. Everything turned to chaos. Liam swung the award. It shattered against the intruder's shoulder. The man snarled and struck back, but Liam shoved him hard into the desk. Papers scattered. Rosie screamed. Evan tried to stand but collapsed in pain. The intruder reached into his coat. A flash of steel. Liam grabbed the man's wrist, slamming it against the wall until the knife clattered to the floor. They struggled, crashing into a table, sending objects flying. The man was stronger, trained, faster, but Liam was a father defending his child. And fathers don't lose. With a final, desperate surge, Liam twisted the intruder's arm until something snapped. The man howled. Liam shoved him face first into the desk and pinned him down with his forearm. Rosie sobbed. Evan exhaled the breath he'd been holding. Security finally burst through the door, but not until after the fight was long over. The intruder was dragged away in cuffs, cursing Liam's name in a broken, furious whisper. Liam knelt beside Rosie, brushing her tears away. "It's okay, baby. Daddy's here." When he stood, he found Evan watching him with a look Liam had never seen on a CEO's face, gratitude mixed with disbelief. "You saved my life," Evan whispered. "Twice." Liam shook his head. "I did what anyone would do." "No," Evan said. "Not anyone." He reached out, gripping Liam's arm with the only strength he had left. "From this moment on, your life changes. Whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever future you dream of for your daughter, you have it." Liam stared at him, stunned. Evan continued, his voice breaking with sincerity. "You didn't save a CEO tonight. You saved a man who had no one left, and I won't forget it." Liam glanced at Rosie, then back at Evan. "Then start by getting checked by a real doctor." Evan actually laughed, quiet, pained, but real. The ambulance arrived. Rosie slipped her small hand into Evan's as he was lifted onto the stretcher. Her voice was tiny, shaking. "Are you going to be okay, Mr. Evan?" He squeezed her hand. "Because of your daddy, yes." When they rode down the elevator together, Evan on the stretcher, Liam and Rosie. Beside him, the CEO kept staring at Liam's jacket wrapped around his ribs. "That jacket changed everything," Evan murmured. And he was right, because from that night forward, nothing in Liam's life would ever be the same, and nothing in Evan's world ever would be either. When the doors opened and the cold air swept in again, Rosie tugged on Liam's sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered. "Can we help him more?" Liam smiled softly. "Yes, sweetheart. We already have." But Rosie shook her head. "No, I mean, can we be his family? Evan froze. The rain outside suddenly didn't feel so cold. And for the first time in years, Evan Cross didn't feel alone. Not even a little. The ambulance. Lights flashed red across. The wet pavement as they loaded. Evan inside. Rosie clung to Liam's leg, watching the paramedics close the doors. Just as they were about to pull away, Evan lifted a weak hand. Liam, bring her closer. Liam stepped forward with Rosie in his arms. Evan's eyes softened in a way that didn't match the fierce reputation he wore like armor. I've spent years building everything, except the one thing that matters, he whispered. Tonight you reminded me how human I still am. Rosie reached out and gently touched his hand. We won't let you be alone, she said with innocent certainty, words that shattered something inside him. Evan breathed shakily. Then, let me do something for you too. Tomorrow morning, both of you come to my estate, not for business, for safety. Liam hesitated. Why us? Because whoever attacked me will try again, Evan said. And now that you fought him, you're on his list too. Liam's stomach tightened. We stay together, Evan whispered. Until this is over. Until I make sure you're protected. The doors shut, but not before Rosie smiled at him, small, warm, unafraid. And in that brief flicker of light, Evan realized something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. For the first time in years, he wanted to live.